Hello, this is Don Lee here, and I welcome you to this training, and I'm so excited to share this with you. The listening and comprehension is one of the major hurdles for our clients to overcome. And many of my clients that join the program, their main issue that they want to solve, that they want to improve, is with their listening comprehension skills. So I made this special training and I teach this to all of my clients in my one-on-one classes, my group classes, and my online training programs called the Blueprint. This is the training for you if you want to overcome this listening and comprehension hurdle. Like I've said, all of my training is it's going to require your hard work and it's going to require action going into the training. It's not just simply listening and it's going to solve the problem. You're going to have to take action based on the workflows and the instructions that I give you. And so when you're watching this training video, I would watch it a few times, right? The first time is to just get an overall flow. Just understand the general aspects of the training. And the second time, you want to watch it with a fine eye, right? Pause when you have to, replay it again, really understand the finer details in the second time you're watching this. The best way to actually understand something is by doing it, right? And so I give you instructions throughout this video on how to implement this listening workflow. So as you're watching it, I want you to pause, take action, come back to it, and that would be the way, and that would be my recommendation on how to watch this training video. You're not going to get anything if your mindset is to just watch and be done with. That's not going to do you anything. It's just going to be precious time out of your day, and that's not what this is for. What this is for you to gain value and actually have an impact on your day-to-day. And so for most of you that are watching this, you're working at a multinational company or you're working at a Korean company that is dealing with a lot of foreign counterparts and you have to deal with communication in English. So I want this to have a direct impact for you. And in doing so, you need to be taking action. You can't just watch and do nothing with it. If that happens, you'll get nothing. But if you watch and take action and really understand the material, then you're going to see impact. And that is why I'm so excited to share this video with you, because I know it had so much impact on my clients and it can also do the same for you. Now, before we get into the training, I want to preface it by saying you should already have a benchmark speaker, or you should have a character that you've picked out as a benchmark. And if you've done that, then this video can be applied to that speaker, right? And you can be very creative. If it's a fictional character, great, right? A fictional character being from a Netflix drama or even a movie or wherever, right? As long as it's a character that you want to use as a benchmark, that's the purpose. If it's a real life character, whether it be your boss, whether it be a TED speaker that you really admire, whether it's a C-suite executive that you are benchmarking, this training video can be applied directly to that. But in this training video that I'm showing you, I'm using an example from a Netflix character. So this training is taken from my group class where I'm explaining the workflow of finding a character on Netflix based on your targeted topic, whether it's business, whether it's IT related, whether it's whatever topic, right? I'm showing you a listening and comprehension workflow based on that character. That can also be applied to any benchmark speaker that you have. So if it's not a Netflix character, it's fine, it works. It's just you're using different characters, right? So that's enough of me talking. Let's get right into the training. You're going to have worksheets in the shared folder. You're going to need it to complete this workflow. Without the worksheets, you're not going to get anything done. So my advice to you again is to watch this multiple times, go through the worksheets, take it slow. There's no need to rush this. And I hope you really get the value, because if you do this properly, you will have direct impact, not only in your English, but in your overall career. So hope you enjoy. So one of the most common misconceptions is listen as much as possible. And a lot of the instructors and hagwons and English service providers, they tell their students, hey, if you want to improve on your listening, I want you to listen as much as possible. immerse yourself in English. And what happens is the students or the Korean professionals, for every chance they get, they listen to the TBS radio, CNN, they listen to, what else is a popular radio station? EBS, English in the Morning. And they'll do that every morning. It becomes a routine. What you need to do, and what it's really missing, is actively and accurately listen as much as you need. But if you want to cross that bridge, you have to do a lot of observation. You have to watch drama series. You have to be speaking with native speakers and enter their minds. And there's a lot of things you have to do, but the fastest and cheapest way to do that is through watching Netflix dramas, okay? And you're not just watching a drama, right? We're not just saying passively listen, right? We're actively and accurately listening when we're watching Netflix. So for one, I want you to play the character. And we're focusing only on one character. And this will give you the focus. And it's going to reduce your stress level when it comes to watching. And the common trap that I see many people do here is they get greedy. They want to pick up all the vocab. They want to know all the expressions. Even like the other characters. They want to know the other characters and what they mean, what they're saying. But like I said, we're only picking one character, and vocabulary is only one facet of what you're trying to do here. The main thing you want to do is pick up on the sounds, the subtle nuances of the sound, and also the cultural aspect of this here. So vocabulary is only one small part. Don't get trapped into trying to know all the words. It's not going to work. There's too many. And the second step is to watch with English or Korean subtitles in all the other scenes. In all other scenes, meaning the ones that your character is not in. If your character is not in the scene, just turn on the English or Korean subtitles, because that's fine. You're not studying there, right? You can passively listen, it's fine. English subtitles if you're at a higher level, Korean for lower level. I want you to challenge yourself. If you're at the higher level and try to listen or watch with English subtitles. However, if you're at the lower level, you can go with the Korean. This is for all other scenes that your character is not in, okay? That's the second step. Third, when you're watching your Netflix drama, I want you to write down your words and the expressions in a Google Sheet, right? And I want you to follow the video workflow. So, quick recap. We're focusing on one character. Focus on just the scenes that your character is in. For these scenes, it's best if you turn off the subtitles. It's best. Because we're picking up on your sound. Which ones don't you catch? What don't you understand, right? We're trying to catch that. For all the other scenes, turn off or turn on the subtitles, right? You can do it for English if you are, if you want to challenge. You can turn on the Korean subtitles if you're at a lower level. And when you're watching, right, there has to be action. That's the active and accurately listening part. Write down your words in the Google Sheet and follow the video workflow. So I'm going to do a demonstration now. In your lecture worksheets, I give you a few title recommendations. Finance. I want to improve on my finance. My target language is finance. I picked Billions. Great show, by the way. It's very, very good show. Now, if I go here, it gives you season 1, 2, and 3. Each episode is going to give you the transcript. If you open up this Anki dictation template, we run into the same code again. I know how much you hate code, but trust me, it's very simple. And we're going to set up your Anki. last week we set up your Anki for your video workflow. Sorry. Today's Anki is going to be different. It serves a different purpose, right? We're working on your listening and dictation. So your Anki needs to be changed. And I'm going to show you how to do that. As you can see, sorry. As you can see, I've got a couple profiles. The reason why I have a couple profiles is I have a listening Anki profile. I've got a speaking Anki profile. I've also got a writing one because each profile has a different purpose. And if you want to improve on your listening, then you need to have this listening workflow. The code is different. Sorry. See, the code is different. This is the Anki dictation template. And if you want to do your vocabulary for the speaking workflow, that Anki is different. The code is different. And what is not good about Anki is that if you want to use the, if you're first using the Anki video workflow and you want to get into your writing, if you want to get into your listening, then you have to change the code again, right? And so if you just have multiple profiles, then you don't have to change the code, right? And so that would be my recommendation. So I'm going to open up my listening workflow deck. Business suits. Just to show you what I'm working with. This is the finished Anki deck, and we're going to work on it together. We're going to build the one together, but this is what it looks like.
You told me that story to stall.
That was a stall.
So my main character here is Jessica Pearson. It's the female character. She's actually the partner of her organization, and I want to improve on my listening with her. So all I'm focusing is Jessica Pearson. That's my main character. And when I'm watching the Netflix drama and focusing on her, I couldn't catch that sentence. So I would write down that sentence and then build an Anki deck and then practice it to catch. So here's what happened. Like, she said that was a stall, and I wrote it down. That's dictation. And then it gives you.
You told me that story to stall.
That was a stall.
So if it's in green, it means you got everything correct, right? It's good. I'll show you what happens if it's not correct, right?
You told me that story to stall.
That was a stall.
So let's say you couldn't catch one word, right? Which in many cases in listening comprehension, you can miss a lot of those sounds, right? Prepositions, maybe even present tense to future tense, the S's, the A's, the P's. There's a lot of sounds that you're not going to be able to capture right away. And in this case, let's say I couldn't catch right? That was a stall. I couldn't catch the Well, if I said that was a stall.
You told me that story to stall.
That was a stall.
So it shows you what you missed, right? So for you, when you're watching, your main character is speaking, and you're like, ooh, I like that word. Or I couldn't catch that. Oh, let me write that down. I couldn't catch that. So you're actively listening. You're not just watching and doing nothing. You're watching, you're listening, and you're taking notes. You're writing. I'm a student, let's say, and I couldn't catch the sentence, but I caught the word backdoored. If you go to your script, right, this sentence, like it was too fast. I couldn't catch. I caught one word of it, but I would have to listen to this again to catch the entire sentence, right? So I'm gonna try this. I want to build an Anki deck on this, right? Now, the good thing here is you don't need to have a definition. All we're trying to do is pick up the sound here, right? We don't need to get the definition. So I hope you guys got the screenshot, right? Backdoored. This is going to save you a lot of time, right? I got the image. Now what you want to do is you want to get the sound. What did I not do? Well, I should probably write down the time, right? The timestamp. I forgot to do the timestamp. And you want to do the timestamp because when it comes to recording it, if I don't know when he said this, I have to search it again. It takes time, right? So now I have to go and try to find out where he said it.
Be missed. You guys caught it, which is something, I guess. But you're looking at it backward. Electric Sun's offer was just a ploy to temporarily prop up Lumitherm. Typical Kazowitz play to bail on a loser. He's an animal. The block trade was Kazowitz getting out of Southern Wind, getting out of Lumitherm. He wrote the story, now he's out, which means you need to be out. In fact, short. It'll slide to 32 and change after work break. 12:52, when everyone was at lunch. You come out of Merrill?
Yeah, I was 4.
When everyone was at lunch, which tells me they wanted it to be missed. You guys caught it, which is something, I guess. But you're looking at it backward. Electric Sun's offer was just a ploy to temporarily prop up Lumitherm. Typical Kazowitz play to bail on a loser. He's an animal.
See how long it takes? That's what happens. You need to timestamp where you heard it, so you don't have to search it. It takes time. But
My new analyst.
Well, if we hired you, you must be a genius. Yale?
Stanford. Then Wharton.
Okay, Stanford Warden. Electric Sun is controlled by Kazowitz. He also owns 19.3% of Lumitherm, backdoored through his stake in Southern Wind. You see that block trade last Thursday?
I got it. So it was 56. And I want to save it. Backdoored. All right, so I got it. You should probably go for about 5 to 10, right? For each episode. Each episode should be about 40 minutes to 1 hour on Netflix. And during that time, go for 5 or 10 sounds. Billions, season 1, episode 1. So you want to create your Anki card. From here, you go add. Right? So let's take a look at the Anki dictation template. Couple of things we got to do. One, we want to have the code, proper code. So we go to cards. And we just want to copy and paste these codes into the appropriate boxes. So just copy and paste front and put it into this template. And then you do the same thing for styling. Put it in there. And then you copy and paste back. And you'll paste it into this box here called back template. And that's all you got to do. So we should have a total of 8 fields in the same order: picture, sound, IPA, meaning, example sentence, sound meaning, sound example, attribution. We're good to go. Then you go close. And now let's put in our word and our example sentence. So here's what I'm doing. An example sentence, picture, Um, backdoored. Oops, downloads. Sound.
He also owns 19.3% of Lumitherm backdoored through his stake in Southern Wind. He also owns 19.3% of Lumitherm backdoored through his stake in Southern Wind.
I had trouble with this sentence when I was listening to my main character. I wanted to improve it. I want to practice it. So then I made an Anki flashcard.
He also owns 19.3% of Lumitherm backdoored through his stake in Southern Wind.
So let's just say that I'm still having trouble, which you will, but you're always going to catch the sounds and always make improvements. So, for example,
he also owns 19.3% of Lumitherm backdoored through his stake in Southern Wind.
I can't catch through. He spoke way too fast. So it tells me where I made the mistake, what word that I did not catch. Then next time I'm going to be accurately listening to this right here through. Most times you'll have a lot of reds, but with enough practice, your red color should become pretty much green over time. You're training your ear to catch these sounds, right? So with enough of these, 5 to 10 sounds per Netflix episode, that is my recommendation. And if you get a lot of reds, I would probably go click on again or good. If it's completely green, then you click on easy. And what that means is in 4 days, when you do it again, this card will show up for you. 10 minutes, meaning when you study this Anki deck, 10 minutes later, this card will show up again for you. And 1 minute is within 1 minute, it'll show up, right? Giving you that repetition so that you don't forget. Great thing about this is you can do it on the phone, right? You can type in your dictation when you're doing on the phone. So you can do it on the go as well.